Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sport Federation TV, where of course we keep taking a look at sport in the province, in the Western Cape, and of course the 6 districts in the province. Number of sporting codes in the structures in South Africa, as you know, and every week we take a look at them. Tonight we'll be taking a look at Western Cape Bridge, we'll take a look at Western Cape Tennis, and we'll also take a look at mountain biking. Mountain biking, of course, forms part of the cycling, Western Cape Cycling Sport Code. And we'll give you another look at the Western Cape Open Boxing Championships, as well as we go back to the Cape Town area and show you our insert that we did recently on baseball. Now, for those of you that have been watching the show, you will of course know that bridge is one of the active sports, and of course bridge has been one of the sport codes that has been able to stay connected to their members even during the COVID times, because they're able to play bridge online, and bridge has been very successful in South Africa. In fact, so successful that we are now able to possibly send 2 competitors to the World Championships. And joining me on the line now, and I think it's the first time to join me on the show, in fact, is Andrew Cruz, the president of Western Cape Bridge. Andrew, welcome to Sport Federation TV.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, like I said, it's the first time to have you on. We have had bridge on the show before, and of course we had to find out about all the different dynamics of bridge and were you able to play and not play. Before we talk about the big news for yourself and Tim Cope, which we're going to talk about in a second, just give us a snapshot. Has bridge been active? Have you been able to play again?
Yes, it has been active. When you say play again, we've been playing all the way through lockdown. What we haven't been able to do is we haven't been able to play face to face.
Yeah.
And our members have really been missing that. You know, ultimately, bridge is a social game. Yes, it tests you academically. It's a big challenge. But I think a lot of people play bridge because they want to talk to their partner. They want to talk to their opponents. They want to have a cup of tea at halftime and socialize with other people in their peer group and with similar thinking and similar interests. So we really are missing that social element in bridge. But yes, we've been able to carry on online. There are a couple of platforms that are available actually globally, Bridge Base Online or BBO, and Real Bridge, which is a kind of a new entrant in the market that actually uses cameras and microphones. So it gives you a similar feel to as if you were at the table. You can see your partner and your opponents and chat to them. So yeah, there've been some tools that have been really useful to us during lockdown, and especially I think that very hard lockdown at the beginning. Everybody was sitting at home. People played 10 times more bridge than they used to. But there were some challenges though. You know, the bridge population generally is quite elderly, and that means that they're not necessarily technically very adept. So getting people to log in, getting people onto the online platforms took a bit of training. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge. But I don't think we should complain. At least we've got these platforms that we can use.
It's quite incredible. It sounds a little bit similar to our chess story of the chess players being able to play online and only recently being able to play what they call over-the-board chess. But of course, with the COVID regulations, the rules change on a regular basis, and at the moment, well, we have to see what those updates are. But yeah. That was of course I was leading to that question. I mean, we understand these dynamics of technology and data being the new challenge, or the additional challenge more than before. With on the bridge side, I mean, for the folks that also are watching for the first time and that don't know bridge, I mean, Tim Cope gave us a pretty good explanation of bridge. But how does it manifest itself physically? I mean, is it 2 people in front of it in a table? You're obviously playing with cards, or is it 2 or 4, 8? Give us the details.
Well, you can play with as few as 4 people, just in pairs. You play with a partner who sits opposite the table, a square table, and you play with a full pack of cards. And you can play against another pair. Typically in competitive bridge, the style of play is called duplicate bridge. And what that means is that rather than just the luck of the draw, you might get good cards and your opponents might get bad cards. Those hands are duplicated, so whatever is dealt out is duplicated many times, and the people that you're playing against, the whole of the rest of the room, will play the same hands, and you'll get a comparison score. So then that evens out in terms of the balance and fairness of, some people might get better cards than others. So yes, it's a game you play in partnership. It's a game played by 4 people minimum. And typically if you're playing at a club or if you're playing in an online tournament, then there will be other people playing at the same time, and you will compare your scores against the whole room who play the same cards.
So during the lockdown, you mentioned that there's been more activity. I would imagine, I mean, we've seen such a growth in esports. We've seen a growth in digital games. Have people been playing more bridge and getting better, more training?
Yeah, I think so. There have been, I think, fewer people playing, but there's been a lot more bridge. So people have been playing more than they used to, much more than they used to. And what we've now realized is that actually these online platforms are probably a better way to try and get new people into the game, especially, our target market. As I said, the game is perceived to be a game for old people. It isn't. But I think younger people have got a lot more competition from a lot more distraction from other things to do. But what we've realized, I think, is that these online platforms are actually a very good place to start teaching people how to play the game. There are videos available online. There are books available online. There are websites where you can learn. So if you want to start, if you're a self-starter, then it's pretty easy to do. And we've also now started beginners sessions at the Western Cape on our online platforms, and intermediate sessions, despite the fact that, yeah, we do want to get back to the table. It's ultimately a social game. It's not something you should be sitting at home playing on your own and being isolated. People do want to get back into that sort of the bridge club. It's a club. Bridge clubs. And the idea about clubs is a group of people that have a common interest.
Yourself and Tim Cope are apparently heading off to the World Championships.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Last week we completed in the Africa Bridge Federation zonal trials. So these it's a bit like football or the Olympics. There are trials that different regions go through to send representatives to the World Championships, which in bridge is called the Bermuda Bowl, and that typically happens every 4 years. Actually, every 2 years. There are other world champs that in bridge as well. So Tim and myself were members of a team of 6 people, the other 4 Joburg based, who qualified actually last year because the Bermuda Bowl was meant to happen in Italy in August, September 2020. But obviously Northern Italy was the epicenter of the outbreak of coronavirus. So that was cancelled pretty quickly. But it looks like they've postponed it again, probably to February, March next year. We're really hopeful that we'll be able to go. For me, this will be a first. So we had a 9 days worth of bridge last week, the open trials. The South African ladies competed in the ladies trials as well. Unfortunately, they didn't quite make it. And this week, actually, the competition's still happening. The seniors are taking part. There's some Western Cape seniors that are playing up until Sunday. And we're all backing them. Hopefully they'll be able to make it and come with us to Italy in February, March next year.
Oh, well, that's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we'll keep following your progress heading up to the Bermuda Bowl or the World Championships. I mean, that's really great. This is, of course, an Olympic year, and everybody's talking about World Championships. But yes, you mentioned that there's a Western Cape or a local tournament this weekend.
Yes, that's it's not this weekend. Actually, in a couple of weeks' time, there's the Western Cape Teams, which is happening on the 26th and the 27th of June. There's also a national tournament happening. That's our National Congress Pairs, which is happening from next week for 4 days. You can find out more about that on the South African Bridge Federation website, sabf.co.za, or on the Western Cape Bridge website, WC Bridge, where we link to SABF as well. And then next month is also the National Congress Teams, from the 9th to the 12th of July.
That's fantastic. It's great to hear that Bridge is so active. It really is. There's so many positives here. Andrew, and of course, for anybody who's watching the show right now, there might be moms or dads or kids watching the show right now, and they're thinking, well, I want to find out more, and I want to sign up, and I want to become a bridge player. Maybe we even start seeing more bridge at schools. I know that's one of your projects that you're busy working on. How do people sign up? How do they find out about joining a club or making a phone call?
Well, there are contact details on the Western Cape website, and please fill that in, and we'll get back in touch with you. As I say, we're starting up beginners lessons for not just adults but also kids. Unfortunately, our school program has stopped because we can't send elderly people into schools to teach people face to face. But we're actually trying to figure out how we can do a schools program online, because a lot of schools, even in underprivileged areas, have a computer room that they use. And so we're trying to figure out how we can try and service those kinds of areas, and provide lessons to people online without having to have people physically there. So we're working towards that. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes. As I said, our population is elderly, so technically people are a little bit maybe not expert.
Well, I'm sure we can find different ways to help you with it. Andrew Cruz,
thank you.
Looking forward to the progress. I'm sure we'll be speaking to Bridge on a regular basis in going forward. And yeah, best of luck that side, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, and we'd love to be on the program again. Thank you.
There we go, folks. Andrew Cruz, the president of Western Cape Bridge. And if you want to find out a little bit more about signing up, get involved, and you hear just how fantastic it is. And we've heard such good stories for the development of children when they play bridge. Just visit the website www.wcbridge.co.za. And also fantastic to see how our athletes are doing so well in the Western Cape to go to the World Championships. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we carry on talking about sport in the province. Back in a sec.